Lesson 12, the draw loop, bubble number 1. Draw loop. Here is an example of the draw loop at work. So we're going to look at this and what do we think it's going to do? So we have sea green, ellipse, and some random number blocks. So it's going to be drawing a sea green ellipse. Now with the function draw, this is going to make it do it over and over and over again at a rate of, I believe, 30 times per second is what it does. So let's go ahead and run it and see if we get our green ellipse drawn over and over and over again. Yep, there we go. And because it's got random numbers 0 to 400 x and 0 to 400 y, it will cover this whole entire area. It's going to keep going and going. And then even though you can't see it, it's still drawing random circles at about 30 circles per second. A little bit of white area here, but it will just keep going until they are all filled. We are going to move on to number 2. All right, use the draw loop. Now it is your turn to do some work with the draw loop. Remember that the code inside the draw loop is run by the Game Lab over and over again. Add code to this program so that the drawing has orange circles being drawn too. Move on when your program looks like the picture over here. All right, so it's got the green ellipses. So it's got our green ellipses. So we need draw, we need another fill, and we need another ellipse block. All right, and we're going to get rid of the size because we don't need the size right now. We just need the X and Y, so we're going to need some random number blocks. All right, so now we got green. It wants us to do orange. So you would have to type in orange. Whoop, won't work like that. All right, so now we got orange. We've got our random number. Weed right there. And we need our 0 to 400 and 0 to 400. And now let's run our program. So now this will just continue and we don't have anything telling it to stop. So it will just keep going on and on forever. All right. All right, so lesson 12, bubble number 3. It wants us to take a look at this code and predict what's going to happen. Now remember, everything outside our function draw, everything outside of our green code box is going to happen once. Everything in here is going to happen again and again and again. Now, typically it's set for a rate of 30 times per second, but it does have our world frame rate set to 5. So now it's going to slow down a little bit. It's not going to be as fast as the ellipses on the previous page. So we've got our background blue, fill yellow. So our ellipse is going to be yellow. But the background doesn't really matter here because it's going to draw our red background. And every time it draws an ellipse, it's going to redo that red background and then draw the ellipse and redo that red background. So it's going to give the illusion of this ellipse just popping up in different areas of the box. So even though it's drawing that ellipse over and over again, because we're redrawing the background, that's why it looks like there's only one circle popping around the box. Lesson 12, number 4. Run the code to see how it works. So we got our little alien dude shaking here. Maybe he's scared. Maybe something's coming after him. All right, discuss with your partner why some code is inside the draw loop and some code is outside. So let's take a look at our code. So we've got our sprite and we've got our alien and then we've got our draw, we've got our background and then we've got our sprite rotation. So that's what's making him shake back and forth. And then we've got our draw sprite. All right, try changing the numbers in the random block and running the program again. So right now he's shaking between -10 and 10 for his rotation. We can make that bigger. Let's do -50 and 50 and run it again. Now he's really shaking. We could make it much smaller. We could make it -2 and 2. And now you can see he's just shaking just a tiny bit. So, but we've got our draw background. So every time it goes through this, it draws the background, it rotates him. Draws the background, it randomly rotates him. It does the background, it randomly rotates him. And we need that draw sprite. We need to make sure that draw sprite is after the background color. Otherwise, if we take this out, then we're not going to be able to see the sprite. So we need to make sure that it is after that background color. There we go. All right, number 5. Run the program. So we're going to run the program. Our pencil's moving around right now, but our brush isn't moving. Edit the code in this program to make the second sprite shake like the first one. So I'm going to pause this real quick. We've got our pencil, and then we've got our brush, our locations. Pencil, it is just changing the X number from 100 to 110. Our brush is set at 300, so we just want to change our X number, so we just need our random numbers. Now, we don't want to put 100 and 110 or it's going to be on top of the pencil. It was at about 300, so let's do 300 and 310. And then let's run our program, and now they are both moving like that. All right, lesson 12, bubble number 6. Let's do A. This level combines some of the skills you've already seen. It draws ellipses in its background and also updates sprites' properties. This time, it's changing the sprite's rotation property. The animation already is updating one sprite's rotation property to make it look like it's shaken. Let's run the program. So we got a little green alien dude dancing right now, and we want to make it look like the pink alien dude is dancing too. All right, so let's see what we've got in our code. We've got here's our green alien, here's our pink alien. It's our background, so it's drawing the background over and over again, which is what's making the alien look like the dance and the stars are moving. Those are our random stars. Then we've got our green alien. So now we need to add a rotation block right there, and we're going to put it in our pink alien. Remember, make sure it is spelling and capitalization is exactly like it is above. All right. And then we need a random number block. And because we're just changing the rotation, we can make it the same as the other alien because we are not changing the location. So we're going to reset and run, and now both our little alien dudes are having a dance party. All right. Let's go back, 6B. All right. Do this. Run the program to see the bug. So right now looks like blur. It looks very blurry. As you can see, it's not erasing what it's had previously. It's drawing one on top of another on top of another, and it's continuing to go. Use the clues to try and fix the bug. All right, so let's take a look. We've got our background. We need to move this out. Now let's try rerunning it. So it was creating a new sprite over and over again. So here's our sprite, here's where it creates our sprite. Because it was in the loop, it was continuously creating new sprites. Since we took it out of the loop, it only creates the sprite once. And then it does our background and then reinserts the sprite again and again and again. And then we've got our random numbers here to make it look like it's shaking. Number 6, C. All right. Run the program to see the bug. Right now, it looks like nothing's happening. Use the clues to try and figure out the bug. Let's take a look. So we've got our draw sprite. We've got our background color. All right. We're gonna want that in there. I think we're gonna have to move. Okay, so now we've got it drawing our sprite before the background color, so we need it after that. There we go. And now we've got our sprite shaken. And I don't think it doesn't matter if you have the draw sprite here or if you have the draw sprite here, as long as it is after, within our function after our background color. All right.